You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something, yo.
So I knew I was okay. He sold 11 million records. He had deals with Jay-Z in them, but Jay-Z ain't gonna never did. I always tell him all the time, Jay-Z ain't treating you like this.
Oh, he definitely like playing. Yeah, this nigga.
Jay-Z might not even say hard as him.
So we just, had a lit. Jay-Z will never take you to a party like this.
Don't complain, but he's got a good life, man. Oh.
Jim Jones clearly chose the wrong fight this time, because Uncle Murda isn't letting this slide at all. Jim took a shot at Tony Yayo for saying that 50 Cent always treated his artists way better than Jay-Z ever did. What started as a joke quickly turned into something much bigger. The situation escalated fast, and now the tension is heavy. Uncle Murda, someone connected to both Rockefeller and G-Unit, stepped in and made it very clear who really holds weight in the streets.
Yeah, Jay don't look out
for Bleak like Fib look out for you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I just want to clear that up. Hov don't have to.
And then he said he eat his home halal.
You know what I mean? All right, okay. I'm chewing halal on my own.
He eats on his own. I eat on my own too.
Right.
I go on my own tour. I just came off tour.
Right.
When have you seen Bleak on tour? On his own. Jay-Z is not a bad guy. Bleak is not a bad guy. I'm not saying. I'm saying to you that Jay-Z was all business with them. When Buck up on his taxes, 50 a piece or more. When Prodigy bought a house and needed more money, 50 a piece or more. Prodigy are paying back. The thing with 50 is, it was business and we was friends. I don't feel like Bleak was Jay-Z.
He's saying that 50 has stayed solid with his day ones for decades. No switching sides, no shady behavior. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's loyalty is starting to look more like a temporary deal. Once your value drops, that Roc Nation support seems to fade, just like an invite that never comes. Some people call it cold, others say it's just the truth, but one thing is certain, Uncle Murda wasn't speaking casually. There's real history behind his words, and that's why the internet is split right now. This situation didn't come out of nowhere either. It all started when Tony Yayo made a comment during an interview that actually sounded reasonable if you've been paying attention to how both 50 Cent and Jay-Z operate. Tony Yayo made it clear that Jay-Z doesn't take care of his people the same way 50 Cent does.
You showing up next to down, that's an indication to me he might have some feelings towards me. That is just every week I got an issue. You show up around it. So I mean, you don't get music, because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a nigga keep being around nigga, when you come around, how your antennas go. So he in a position where he might feel like he did.
According to Yayo, 50 has shown him far more support than Jay ever did for Memphis Bleak, and that says a lot. But to be fair, Yayo wasn't taking direct shots at Jay-Z. He was simply speaking his truth. He explained, when it comes to loyalty, nobody moves like 50 Cent 50 doesn't just talk about brotherhood. He proves it. He keeps his day ones on tour, connects them with TV opportunities, includes them in business moves, and even flies them out just to unwind. All he asks in return is loyalty. That's real boss mentality. That's when Jim Jones stepped in, and everything started to spiral. While talking with Memphis Bleak, Jim began clowning Yayo, saying he was down bad and still relying on 50 Cent to stay relevant. He tried to frame it as dependence instead of loyalty, and that only threw fuel on the fire. From that moment, the tension online shot up fast, spreading everywhere almost instantly.
You know, me from the hood, so people look at Bleak and don't understand the business he's doing. They always look at Jay like, oh
Yeah. That's why. That's why you got like Yayo talking about, Jay don't take care of it. I don't need Jay to go on tour.
Real smoke hard coke, yo.
Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of, nigga. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something, yo.
You do need that.
You might need 2 ounces.
That's why
Paid in full move. I got a G for every bump in your face. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Why you worried about
peon? You broke.
The internet went completely crazy after that, because Jim Jones wasn't holding back at all. But that's exactly when Uncle Murda stepped in and checked Jim real quick. Murda fired back with a cold response that made everyone pause, saying Jay has business partners, but 50 has brothers, and that line hit deep.
Instagram comments, Because these people are made to break you. They want to break artists. They want to break you. Nobody believe you. I was in 50 crib, no roaches and all that. We in a little spot, small spot. Nobody believed in that. He playing Get Rich or Die Trying already in the crib. He had half that done. Like, all right. Once this go off, then like everybody get confused because they don't think that your dream is gonna come. But you gotta, you know what I mean? That's why I respect him because we had more of an assist. We had 50 Cent. So I knew I was okay. We sold 11 million records. Even motherfucker, he had deals with Jay-Z and them, but Jay-Z ain't gonna never. Dude, I always tell him all the time, Jay-Z ain't treat me like this.
Oh, he definitely like playing. You know, this.
Jay-Z might not even say hard as all.
So we just, the party we was just at in Miami with the Kardashians, Serena Williams, and everybody. We just finished performing. Great time, right? First thing my man here want to say, yeah, lit. Jay-Z will never take you to a party like this.
You might get invited.
Nah, I don't get invited to the
That statement shook people up. The message was clear. Jay keeps people close when the money makes sense, but 50 keeps his circle tight off love and loyalty. That one line completely flipped the conversation, and suddenly the internet started leaning heavily toward 50 Cent loyalty means everything to him, and he keeps people around because they've been solid since day one. No shortcuts, no switching up. In a recent interview with Uncle Murda and Tony Yayo, both made it clear that Jay-Z never showed Murda the same support that 50 did. According to Yayo, that's because 50 never forgot who stood beside him when he had nothing. Those same people stayed down during the struggle, and 50 has been rewarding that loyalty ever since. That's why his circle has remained tight for decades. No fake energy allowed. But here's the twist. The internet is completely divided. Some people say Jim Jones is right and that Tony Yayo is just riding 50's success. Others are jumping in to defend Jay-Z hard, arguing that just because Jay doesn't show generosity online the way 50 does doesn't mean he isn't looking out for people behind the scenes.
He was just like tight with his money. Eminem, tight with his money. So you learn to kind of save instead of spending. 50 encourages you. You get money, go get a house. That's like Uncle Murda. He's down with us now. He was signed to Jay-Z. He got his first house being down with us.
Right.
He gave me my first Jacob watch, and 50 said, "Yo, don't forget, blow your head off of it." See, 50 was ahead of his time. That's what people.
Online, a lot of people were more irritated that Jim Jones even jumped into the situation at all. Fans felt it had nothing to do with him, and they made that clear. One comment said, "Jim Jones talking reckless like he didn't run when someone put hands on him." Another wrote, "Everybody knows Jimmy doing the most just to stay relevant." Someone else added, "Jim Jones once said he was better than Nas. That tells you everything." The internet had no mercy with those reactions. But let's go back to what Uncle Murda really meant when he said, "Jay got business partners, but 50 got brothers." That wasn't just a clever line at all.
Relationship like with Jay-Z? Who were you to him?
Well, basically, I was his right-hand man. You know what I mean? Beyond that, we were brothers. For him not to even give me time, even to act like he didn't know me, you know what I'm saying? For all that I sacrificed, all that my people sacrificed, all that my family sacrificed. I never knew that it'd get to this. Even label me with some statements or some snitching statements. I think that's about the utmost disrespect.
It is.
That line carried real weight, history, meaning, and lived experience, and that's why it hit so differently. It wasn't just talk. It came straight from what Murda actually lived through. His time at Rockefeller was short, and that alone speaks volumes. He saw up close how 50 moves behind closed doors. No fake loyalty, no empty promises, just real action. 50 stays solid with the people who stayed solid with him. Always keeping it authentic, making sure his team eats right alongside him. That's the kind of loyalty money can't buy, and Murda is living proof of it. The same goes for Tony Yayo. He's been locked in with 50 since the early G-Unit mixtape days, and decades later that bond is still unbreakable. Even now, 50 continues making sure Yayo gets booked for international tours and stays visible. But according to Yayo, it was never about private jets, luxury hotels, or flashing money. It was about growth. 50 made sure his people learned how to move smart, manage their finances, and build long-term wealth. That type of mentorship is rare in this industry. Murda even revealed he bought his first house after signing with 50, a moment that changed his life completely. Once he linked with G-Unit, 50 didn't just give chances, he created real opportunities. Music, business moves, public support, he kept his people active and never turned his back on those who stayed loyal from day one. And that's really the message right there. Loyalty builds legacy. 50 Cent doesn't treat his circle like temporary co-workers. He treats them like family who came up from the grind with him. He moves off loyalty, not convenience, and that's what separates him from the rest. Now compare that to Jay-Z's circle, and it's a completely different story. Jay moves like a corporation. You're around when it benefits both sides, but once the business slows down, the connection fades fast. Just look at the history: Dame Dash, Kanye West, Beanie Siegel, ties cut, no looking back. And it didn't stop there. Even the person who helped Jay get his first real break faced the same outcome. Jay-Z was mentoring Jay before the world even knew his name, helping him find his sound and direction. But once Jay blew up, the energy shifted, and Jazz was left behind. That alone spoke volumes. Then there's DeHaven, one of Jay's oldest friends from Marcy, someone who put in real work early while Jay was still finding his lane. But once Jay fully stepped into that corporate mindset, it was like DeHaven stopped existing. Things turned ugly fast. DeHaven later came forward saying Jay turned on him, labeled him a snitch, and completely cut him off. That's cold, no way around it. When DeHaven spoke about his relationship with Jay, you could hear the hurt. To him, it was never just business, it was brotherhood. That's why when Uncle Murda said, Jay got business partners, but 50 got brothers, it wasn't shade, it was observation. He was speaking on what he personally witnessed. Jay moves like a CEO, and that means cutting ties the moment someone no longer serves the brand. That's the difference. It's not emotional, it's strategic. But that mindset leaves behind people who once had his back now feeling forgotten. That's why people rarely describe Jay as loyal. They call him smart, calculated, business-minded, and all of that can be true. But loyalty isn't a word you hear attached to him very often. With 50 Cent, it's the opposite. His loyalty traces all the way back to his come-up. The same people who stood beside him early are still right there today, and the only ones missing are the ones who switched up. Simply put, 50 moves with loyalty first, while Jay moves with strategy first. And that contrast is exactly why this debate refuses to die. This isn't just about music anymore. It's about values, about what loyalty really means when money, power, and fame enter the picture. Some fans say Jay played the game exactly how it's meant to be played, cold, but effective. Others believe that mindset costs real relationships, and once they're gone, no amount of success can replace them. With 50, the pattern has always been different. He doesn't erase people just because the chapter changes. If you were there during the grind, you're still part of the story, just with bigger wins and louder success. No revolving door. No constant replacements. That's why Uncle Murda's words landed so hard. It wasn't about attacking Jay or praising 50 for no reason. It was about showing two completely different ways of moving at the top. One runs like a boardroom, the other runs like a family meeting. Both can win, but only one builds bonds that actually last. And that's why this conversation struck a nerve online. People see themselves in it. Loyalty versus leverage. Brotherhood versus business. And depending on how you move in life, you already know which side you stand on.